Feels good. Feels good. Sounds good. I feel like we're good. See if we got some good audio. Good sound here before we get started too deep in it. Make sure the audio's coming through good. Hope everyone's doing good on a Tuesday. Yeah, good sound. Cool. This is the guitar that probably most important guitar. You know, everybody remembers their first, but this one is probably the one that is the most important to me. It's the one I really kind of discovered what I sound like on, you know. Let's dig in. right. Heck yeah. No, we're not playing that one yet. Woo! No, not playing that. Okay. So, I played another song for you. Kind of like this song. I haven't played it in a really long time, and I don't play it out nearly enough, and I really should, because it was one of the tunes that kind of like, I don't know if you want to say started me. It's not like it started my career, but it was an important song that helped me go from side man to main man, I guess some would say, some would argue. You know, most of my career up until probably, 2017, 18, something like that, I was really a side man, and it was really those years that I shifted and started becoming more of the artist and less of the side man. And I'd like to play this song for you. And I haven't played it in a long time, so there might be some bum notes. We might mess some things up. We might not. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to do it anyway. This song is called Reach. If I can find the track. Here we go. oldie but a goodie. I need to play that one more often. Lost my edge on that one. Let's do one more. Let's do one more for fun. One more for fun. I don't know. Trying to do these old tunes, man. Yeah. I need to turn off the auto start function on the next song. Yeah, I'm just having some fun here. The reason I play those tunes is just kind of specific. And one, I think the reason is I need to practice Reach more often. I never play that one anymore. I should. It used to be in the rotation a lot. But it's not anymore, and it's going to be. I'm going to start playing that one out. Noise. I don't know what that means. Noise. Yeah, okay, cool. So, listen. What a couple of weeks. I'm taking off my strap and unbuttoning this thing. This guitar means a lot. Really does. You guys have got the internet. You guys have seen what's going on in the guitar industry. We're not going to say the F word this week. There's a reason this guitar is shaped like this, and it's because of that guitar right there. Boop. That one right there. Boom. That's the one I learned to play on. That's the one I started my life on. And there's kind of like moments in your existence where you find your voice, and you find, it's like you grow up and you listen to your heroes, and you're trying to emulate your heroes. And I did that really on the nose with the checkerboard pickguard because I wanted to be like Jimmy Olander, and it had the Brent Mason set up. I wanted to be like Brent. And that was that's what it was when I was trying to, wear the cape and pretend I was Superman. It wasn't a thing where I had found my voice yet. And I started working with Sir, and I had begged John for a long time. I was already, touring, but I didn't have the career that I have now. And John had released the Modern, and I really liked that Modern heel joint. But every time I would see a photo with myself playing a, flame top Modern, I'd be like, that's not me. Like, that's really awesome, but it's not me. And I always went back to this shape. Shape is the key word, because this is not a copy. This is esque. And this meant a lot to me, because this guitar right here is the prototype. Every Modern T that was ever built was built off of this one right here. You can tell I've played the absolute living crap out of this guitar. It's worn through. The pickups are turning green. The saddles are black. It's been worn and played. But this one has been retired from a lot of flight. I don't fly with this guitar anymore because I'm afraid something will happen to it. And I had the vision that, when I saw myself in my mind on stage, it comes back to the photograph thing. I was on tour with Scott Stapp. And when I would see those photos, you gotta understand, with big artists, there's always a media team at every show to take photos and stuff. And when I would close my eyes and see myself on stage, it was with this kind of shape. And I wanted the playability of the Sir Modern. I wanted how easy it was to just blast out on it, right? And I wanted the stability and the stainless steel frets and the heel joint. And I'm going to show you every intricacy about the guitar here in a minute. But these were the things I wanted that couldn't be provided in any Tele and or Tele copy. Even the Sir copies or the Anderson copies. I had an Anderson Tele, whatever they call it, the drop top T or whatever. None of them were like a Tele. They all had slight improvements. The Anderson had its unique thing, and the heel joint and the curved top, and the Sir they do their thing with the traditional ones, more traditional ones. But I wanted that modern playability, and so I asked John. I said, "Can you put the heel joint of the Sir Modern on a Tele?" And he was like, "No, nobody's going to want that." I love that it stayed like that for a long time, for months. He was like, that's just kind of an abomination, He didn't use those words. But the tone in his voice when I would talk to him, or the tone in the emails when he would respond, it would definitely be like, man, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So this guitar has 24 frets, and that was a unique thing to the A Wood models. This is the first of all of them. This is the father. And it wasn't so much about playing a 24th fret. As you can see, there's not even dots on the 24th fret. And the neck pickup placement and all this stuff is all part of the deal. And it wasn't even an intent to play with a high E. It was just more about like, I wanted that freedom in this range. You know what I mean? Just when you're playing right here. And the heel joint didn't, get into the back of your hand. So we kept on with this, and I kept poking at John and poking at him. And finally he just said, if I build one for you, will you just leave me alone? And this is the leave me alone guitar right here. This is the guitar that, like John, that I kept on and on to him, and he said, you know, if I build this one for you, you know, can we just let this be at peace, and it can just be the end of it? And I said, sure. I don't really care about anybody else. So that's not what I said, but in a lot of ways, this thing was born out of selfishness, and so they worked on this thing and they got it done. The crazy thing is they never, like when we did this one, this wasn't like version 2 or version 3. This was like the first one, and they got it right. They got it right the first time. The body was like lightly torched. You know, it's not sandblasted. It's just a flat black piece of swamp ash, and it's just lightly torched. Cool thing is as you play it, it polishes. It's really weird. It's like as you play it, it gets shiny. So you can always tell one that's well loved. And I didn't want any tummy cuts or arm cuts or anything like that. I wanted it to be traditional. Like I wanted it to feel familiar, but be better. I wanted it to be the thing that I envisioned. And to compound upon that, all the telly purists in the world, you know, saw the 2 humbuckers and the trim, and they thought that was blasphemy as well, which is fine. That's their problem. I wanted something to solve the things that I needed to solve, and make the music that I needed to make, and be the guitar that I wanted. I'm pulling up some sounds here. And like a traditional telly, I didn't want a middle pickup. You know, I think it gets a little crowded, and it starts hitting my pick. So even when I play strats or, you know, things, it just, you know, I wanted a 2 humbucker guitar. And the switching was a 5-way design with the back being in series parallel. So like with it down, it's a regular humbucker sound. Sounds awesome. But with it up, you know, this is a series parallel, and I was looking for a way to get it to do the more you know, Brent redneck thing. And it sounds really awesome. Come on, Andy. Nice. So that was the kind of thing I was looking for. You know, I was really into the Brent thing, and I wanted to have that somewhat of assimilation of it with a humbucker. So some ingenuity there. The split sounds, kind of, you know, or to the, you know, I wanted that superhero lead tone, you know, definitely had, you know, the goods for the humbucker thing, because I was playing a lot of, you know, rock at that time and fusion and stuff. And so About this time, I had done the Truth and Lie record. We were in the final stages of that. And so this came out when I was on the road with Scott Stapp, and I had taken this on the road, started touring it, and it was really, really good, and, you know, sounded good on the road and rocking. It really sounded nice out there. And then I'd done the Truth and Lie record and started playing that stuff out and about. Then I did the Live at the Bijou, and I was slowly cultivating what I sounded like. Not an interpolation of what my heroes sounded like. You know what I mean by that? Like I was starting to get away from the attempt to sound like my heroes, and I was really starting to go farther down, like what's my sound. So fast forward into 2019, I was going through a really, really crazy breakup, and with a big litigation lawsuit over the house property and all this stuff. And Ben Eller and I had just started working together, and he was engineering and playing bass on the Junktown record. And that was an important record because I'd been hiring Ben to be my second guitar player out on the road. And when we set forth, you know, we spend time with people. We spend time, you know, Andy Campbell on drums, spent a lot of time with him. And the band, you know, collectively, it just kind of we started realizing what clicked, you know, not only with the audience, but with ourselves. And it was like this blend of the Southern thing with the rock thing, with the fusion thing. It was like not being so segmented with this is a country song and then this is a blues song. Like very much like everything kind of started becoming all the same kind of genre. And that's when I really started finding my voice. You know, it was the songs like Smoke Wagon and Flooded Mine. You know, Flooded Mine's definitely got that like Southern approach, you know. So like these tunes, they started kind of coming together. And, you know, even the Forgotten Secrets was kind of written on mandolin. These tunes were like written on the mandolin, and they were written out of like little grooves and shuffles. I started noticing that like everybody in the guitar world that was making instrumental music at that time, they never really had like shuffles and like that stinky ZZ Top kind of thing, inspired with some Allman Brothers and some Nashville and all the things that kind of made it, you know, started blending together. And I kept coming back to this guitar. I was like, man, this guitar is like the embodiment of the sound that I hear in my head. It looks like and plays like, and it's the thing, right? It's like from 30 feet, it looks like a working man's kind of telly, but when you're up on it, there's so much more. There's sculpted hills, a 16-inch radius, stainless steel frets. You know, the tuners and the gear ratio on the tuners is really high, and you know, 2-post trim with a recess. So you could go, you know, all that kind of foolishness was in there. All of that stuff started being in there. But it still wasn't so far away that I couldn't do my thing and do all the shreddy stuff with it. All the kind of things that I wanted in a hot rodded guitar, but it looked like me. You know, it looked like looked like a guy from Tennessee. You know what I mean? And it felt at home. And to this day, these guitars, they feel so at home. And I thought it was, with the current state of things, with the current state of the big F, I thought it was important to talk about what innovation is and how you take something that's old and familiar and you push it into new territory. You know, this isn't about the lawsuit or what is and what isn't a copy. It's just about finding your voice. And I thought I would share that story with you. And, you know, I guess to cap it off and put a bow on the top of that story, this guitar's been on stage, some of the biggest stages literally you can ever play. I mean, football stadiums. We played the Shoe. I played the Shoe with this guitar. Countless, you know, arena gigs. But what's the big iHeart Festival in Austin where the Longhorns play? And it's been on a lot of TV shows, you know, late night things, and it's been on all the records. You know, it always, like, when I don't know which guitar to play, I go to this one. I'm like, there it is. There's that old familiar friend. And it got to the point where I was starting to get a little superstitious of it, and I didn't want to lose it. More importantly, I didn't think I would lose it. I thought Delta or American Airlines or Allegiant or one of those fine folks, one of those fine establishments would lose it or damage it. And it had to start, like, just being on gigs where I was going to bust, you know. Never got too far away from me backstage. You know, not to say that if any other guitar got stolen, like if the silver one got stolen, I'd be bummed. You know, if the blue one got stolen, if any of them got stolen, I'd be super bummed. But because this is the grandfather at all, it's like literally, you know, it's rare it's rare in our industry and our hobby and our scene and our passion, which is guitar. It's rare that something new comes along or gets tweaked and, you know, it changes things. You know, I definitely noticed when after this came out and my career grew, I definitely noticed the Me Too's, you know, doing 24 fret tellies, where in 2014 nobody did it, right? You couldn't get one, right? Super rare back then, and now a lot of people do it. Not only do they do it with the, you know, the flat finishes, and it's a big compliment. You know, it never crossed my mind to think about sending somebody that makes a guitar, it's obviously a copy of mine, a letter. If anything, I'd send them a bottle of bourbon and say thanks for the compliment. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, imitation's biggest form of flattery, ain't it? You know. And so this guitar, you know, been a huge part of my life, and it definitely needs to be cleaned. But there's something cool about it. It's scruffy, you know. It's definitely a scruffy guitar. And it was on Charisma, which is a huge record for me. Thanks to all you guys for checking out that record and the Junktown record. And going back, and I definitely see the numbers where you guys are going back and listening to the old songs on the Truth and Lie and stuff like that. And man, it means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me. And I think a lot of that, you know, who's to say you're not going to play like yourself on anything? I'll always sound like myself no matter what I play. But I don't know if I would have made the same statements without coming up with this. And it kind of dovetails into another topic that was being tossed around this week in the chat and Instagram, Facebook. What's it mean to be a signature artist? You know, what's that look like? I mean, you could walk in any place and have somebody do a paint job for you. You know, you pick out what they already make. And it's like, all right, well, mine is black and, you know, green, or, you know, I'm thinking about like the John Petrucci Picasso guitar really right now. I'm thinking about that guitar. It was signature, but it still looked like Steve Vai's guitar. You know what I mean? It's still an RG. And then when John went to Music Man, he made his own thing. And it's like, not that the John Petrucci guitars don't look Stratty or Ibanez or whatever, but they're their own thing. Like, this is Telly-esque, Telly-esque. But, this whole contraption in this area, this whole thing, it's not a Telly. It is. I love to argue about it. Is it? Is it not? I don't. It's my thing. It's pulling from the old and honoring the old, and honoring the legacy and the legend of the broadcaster and the no-caster and the guitars that I really look up to. Brent Mason, obviously, is a huge, huge hero of mine, childhood hero, and the Telly slingers of yore. I'm thinking about John Jorgensen, Danny Gatton, Vince Gill. The guys that Ray Flack, Albert Lee, it harkens back to that, but it's got its own thing on it. It's got its new twist on it. And this guitar is probably, outside of the very first electric guitar I had, this is probably the most important guitar. This is the guitar that taught me how to be myself, and I just wanted to kind of share that story with you. I think being ourselves and honoring where things have come from is awesome, and pushing some innovation in some directions and pushing and pulling, the corners of legacy, but not pulling it so far you get at the Ferrari Luce. You know what I mean? That's a little too far. We pulled it too far. We got too far away from the original ingredients. You know what I mean? We lost the secret sauce. I think you just kind of pull the edges of things till they make something that's new and fresh. And I also want to take this time to say thanks, man. Thanks to all you guys for making this such a hugely successful guitar. And it's crazy to think that this guitar has, sold however many thousands of models. It's wild to me. I don't have delusions of grandeur. My last name is not Clapton. So that means to me that a lot of people are picking this up and they don't know who I am, and they're trying that out and they've fallen in love with it, and it's solving the same problems with a stock Telecaster that I would have, or a stock Telly style guitar that, it's like this thing really did a lot for me. And I don't think songs like Junktown and Free Range Chicken and Smoke Wagon and Reach and Secrets, I don't think those tunes would have come out without blending that gumbo together and kind of figuring out, man, look, the world's got Eric Johnson. They don't need another second-rate Eric Johnson. The world's got Steve Morse. They don't need a second-rate Steve Morse. The world has Brent Mason. That's the thing I really started thinking about. It was like, man, the world has my heroes. The only thing I can do, and the only hope I have, is to write the music that sounds like me. Not that I'm ever not going to be a fan. I'm wearing a Van Halen t-shirt. Like, I'm a mega fan. I love the music of my heroes. But it's important to find your own path too. And on that note, I want to give a shout out to companies like Sterling Ball's company, Ernie Ball Music Man Guitars. Shout out Sterling. Sterl, if you see this, love you, brother. When you look at Ernie Ball, they do it right. They do a good job. There's homage. There's tip of the hat. You look at a Lukather or a Steve Morse, and you go, I can hear where the things come from. Like, you listen to Lukather, you're going to hear some Jeff Beck-isms. You're going to hear some Hendrix-isms. You might hear some Jay Graydon, Larry Carlton-isms. But you get Luke. And just like Luke, Music Man has done a great job with that guitar, and it's an echo of him, right? It's like a physical personification of the sound that he makes, and it looks Strat-esque, Strat-y. It looks Strat-y, but it's not. It's not a Strat, and it's got its own vibe, and it's its own thing in the realm of John Petrucci guitar. Steve Morse guitar is a great example, right? Like Steve Morse, fellow Telly slinger. Don't get it twisted. Steve Morse is the OG Telly fusion guy for sure. And then he came up with the blue guitar, which is definitely Strat-esque. Stratty. And made it his own thing with the electronics, man. And the Albert Lee and its unique shape, and even controversial shapes, like what's the bongo? What's that bass? It looks like a spaceship. Bongo, I think is what it is. You know, they did their own thing, man. It was really cool. Shout out to PRS. Same kind of thing, man. Shout out to Paul Reed Smith. He got a Telly-esque kind of thing. The Miles Kennedy guitar that's come out, it's Telly-esque, but it's not Telly. It's cool. The Mark Lettieri guitar, another one that's Stratty, but it's not a Strat. But it's a Strat, but it's not a Strat, right? It's like, it gets into that world of like, it's a sports car, right? Like if you saw the Daytona SP3, that's Ferrari's big bad hypercar. And also on the Ferrari note, I know a lot of people don't really like is his name Manzoni, the designer. They don't like the way things are going. But man, he's had some good ones. He had the 812, 488. He had SP3. The SP3, if you take the SP3 and you lay it out at a car show, it's killer. Dave Ferrari's like super hypercar, SP3, Daytona. If you have that thing and it's like next to a Valkyrie, Aston Martin Valkyrie, and that's next to a Pagani Huayra, something. And you lay these hypercars out next to each other. They all look like hypercars. You know what I mean? Like they're all Stratty. They're all Telly-esque. They're hypercars. But they're different. It's like the devil's in the details, you know? I think that's a wonderful thing. And I think there's a lot of companies that do the signature model thing really right. I think PRS is one of them, man. The PRS signature model is those, you know, some of them look super traditional. You know, there's some Mark Tremonti like single cuts that are super, super traditional looking. Like Les Paulish, you know what I mean? Ish. And you got the Lettieri, you know, the Silver Sky, I guess technically is signature model. John Mayer development with him. All Stratty, all different, you know. And then you got, God, you know, really, guys, you got Les Paul itself. Like, that's a signature model. Forget it. We all forget that the Les Paul is a signature model, you know. And it's just, it's fun to look around the game and see when guys have an opportunity to work with manufacturers and come up with something truly unique and special, what guys come up with, you know. And a lot of times you get these personifications, you know what I mean? Like that Luke guitar or the Petrucci guitar, right? Or the Fiore, you know, Mark Lettieri's guitar. It's interesting. I think that stuff's interesting. And at the risk of sounding like a, you know, nepotism and bragging or whatever, I don't care. I think this thing's totally bitching. Look at this thing, dude. It's so cool. And it started here and it ended up, you know, here, you know, with the anniversary model. This is the Ferrari Rosso Corsa Red with the carbon fiber pick guard, ebony fretboard. This guitar is such a stunner, dude. Like, brother. Lumile dots, roasted maple neck. Look at the back of that thing, dude. Jeez. It's like, I mean, it's like Jack Butler-esque. You know, it definitely is not what, you know, if you're in a duel, you're not on Heaven's team when you're playing the red one. You know what I mean? So sick, right? So sick. And it was really fun to do these. 100 red and 100 orange. They were released out into the wild. So if you have an opportunity to get one at some point, it's pretty cool. The orange is equally as sick. The gray was based off the gray of my Z06 before I traded that Corvette. And then the whiskey barrels, you know. The whiskey barrels are lovingly named Saul and Sam. Whiskey Barrel Brothers right there. So, you know, interesting story. Little history there for you on what this guitar meant to me. And kind of coming up with the tunes, that I thought made me sound like me. Maybe we'll play another tune. Let's play another tune. I don't have a fuzz hooked up, so. Yeah, let's do Shoot the Sun Down. You guys want to hear Shoot the Sun Down? Is that one cool? I'm going to let the chat pick one. Shoot the Sun Down. You want to hear that? Yeah, okay. I was just like looking at that's just where I got the thing set. Okay, let's do that one. Okay, one more request. Yeah. One more request. We've already done Forgotten Secrets. You'll have to rewind the live stream and watch it to get that one again. Yeah. Let's do, we had a request here for this one, right? Try this one. Hope I remember it all. Yes. All right. Fun. Fun tune. God, it's like kind of fun to sit around and play some tunes. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, this guitar knows what I want to say. For sure. Let's do one more. All right. There you have it. A lot of ridiculously overplaying. Don't do it on the gig. Don't do that on the pop gig. For sure, don't do it on the pop gig. Yeah. That's the whole reason you make your own music, so you can just do what you want. You know what I mean? I want to do this. Make your own music. That's it, right? Oh, man. So, man, thanks for hanging out. Let's hit some questions real quick. Stairway to Heaven, Back in Black, Wonderwall. I love it. I love that everybody's just like, hey, man, play Stairway to Heaven. I should maybe set that up. I should work that up eventually, right? Freebird, you know. I'm doing the arrangement as I wait. That's so dumb. There you go. There's a really, really seriously dumb version of it. I think those arpeggios would be cool. Stuff you could really play on that'd be fun. All those Steve Morse licks are really good for that, right? Yeah. Craziness. Stupid. Not gonna get paid for that. Okay. Tuesday's Gone. Yeah, man. That's a great tune too. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. I don't know who David Wise is. He just keeps saying Asian emblem and noise. So thanks. There's no. I won't even. I won't even argue with you on that. It's just noise. Yeah. The wood shred, right? Thanks for hanging out. We need that Petrucci Freebird solo from Once in a Lifetime. I need to go back and re-listen to that one. I haven't heard that one in a long time. Yeah. Earl says, Andy, I just got a gearbox. I'm interested in your settings and recommendations for VP4 AM4 signal boost. I would use the gearbox into the AM4 into the VP4, and I would only use the AM4 for amp models, right? Use the VP4 for your time-based stuff. Gearbox settings are bass at 11 o'clock, mids at 9 o'clock, treble at noon, gain to taste. Kind of, that's it. That's kind of it. As far as VP4 settings, those will be coming out soon on my website. You'll be able to buy them for like $4 or $5, $5, I think. That's a great segue, as we call it. If you enjoy what we do here and you want to support the channel, keep it rolling. Patreon is a place to go. Patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. Also, we will be creating some new stuff and a new curriculum for AndyWoodMusic.com. Going to be a lot of new stuff coming to that very soon. So AndyWoodMusic.com, if you want to buy backing tracks to the songs that I've been playing this week, tones I've been using, That's all at andywoodmusic.com. You can buy it, download it, jam along with it. There's lesson packs and Guitar Pro tab profiles and all the stuff to learn how to play the tunes. And the Patreon Masterclass, which is a delight, will be tomorrow night at 6:30, Wednesday nights. We always do it Wednesday nights. Basically, it works like this. If you sign up at Patreon, even for $5-10, whatever that lowest tier that you deem worth it, if you sign up there, you get all the lesson videos. There's hundreds, 700 videos. But if you sign up at the combo tier, which is the $25 tier a month, you get 4 2-hour masterclasses. So that's 8 hours of a live Zoom call masterclass. And that's for $25 a month. Best deal I got. I'm undercutting the competition, folks. That's what we're doing. Trying to save up that money and buy Chuck a McLaren. Chuck is our lovely webmaster. He handles all the business on that internet side of things. And the man deserves a McLaren. So go to andywoodmusic.com and buy a hat or a hoodie. And that'll go towards the Chuck McLaren fund. We got to really get it going. We got swag. Yeah, brother. Yes, we have swag. We've got shirts and hats. We need a Woodshed t-shirt that's got the sign behind me, don't we? Would you guys buy that if there was a shirt? Let me tell you about this sign. This sign right here means a lot to me. This was made for me by a good friend of mine named Betsy, and she passed away this time last year, in March of last year. And she made this sign for me when I moved into this new place, and I miss her so much. It might be cool to have that on a t-shirt. Would you guys be interested in that? I think that'd be a cool, maybe, I'll see if I can send that to Chuck and see if he could digitize it some way. Maybe it'd make it look Western, like a tombstone or whatever, but it says the Woodshed. Yeah, cool. All right. Jay says, Freebird. Man, I was just having fun. Don't take that seriously. Dear God, please don't take that. Nobody take that seriously. Yeah. It's just, I was shooting from the hip. You know what I mean? Come on now. Somebody's asking about the wrap around the nut. Yeah, they just kind of, I pull it on if I'm going to do a lot of slappity tappity stuff. I'm not really that kind of guy, but I just, I'll pull it on. It just reduces some extra noise if you want to pull it out, You don't have to have it. I think, you don't have to have it. It's just something. It's just like anything else. It's a tool. Andy, why did you go for double humbucker? It says single coils. Just so I could jump back and forth between the Southern thing and the rock thing a little easier. It was easier to go that way than to try to make a single coil sound beefier. Like fatter in the low mids. You know what I mean? It was easier to split you know what I'm saying? Like when I was playing that, these kind of sounds. It's easier to kind of get a single coil, that sound, that way. Easier to go that way. The single coil sound out of that, and then the humbucker's still fat. If I don't hit bad notes. I just think that just sounds so much nicer, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why Vlad is saying this guitar is what the guitar world should be about. Just innovation. Yeah, moving the ball forward a little bit. Yeah. Dirty Joker says this guitar looks like me. Yeah, man, a little scruffy, for sure. It's similar, not the same. Yeah, man. Nakan says, Andy, if you had to do a country jazz, no distortion allowed on the gig, would you take an amp or a modeler? I'd take an amp. I mean, if you're just doing no distortion at all, just get you like a little baby, especially if it's a jazz thing and you don't have a lot of stage volume. Brother, a Princeton can do wonders. I mean, a Princeton with like a 175, shoot, dude, you can get it done with that. You can definitely get it done with that. All right. Can you explain the Super Strat? Little rap guy, can you explain the Super Strat? Yeah, I can. It's really easy to explain. There was this guy in this band right here. His name was Edward, and he wanted a humbucker sound in a Stratocaster. So he chiseled it out of a 335 and put it in there, and that was the Super Strat. Kind of, it just is that simple, Our boy Edward knocked down all the trees for us to have a nice, clean road forward. Greatest of all time. Greatest rock guitar player of all time. Edward Van Halen, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Candyman says, Andy, do you prefer the sound of single coils on your Woodshed pickups, or do the split tones humbucker sound just as good? I notice you don't play the single coils much. I play the single coils when I'm doing really straight ahead country music. Like, if I'm playing like a bunch of Brent stuff and there's only like one or two overdriven songs and they're like bluesy, I will play the single coil one. This is if I'm doing anything like big hero, high gain kind of thing. The liquid lead thing is going to be this guitar. But the country stuff, like, Fast Cars of Freedom and stuff like that, it's all going to be single coils. Yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling with me. A great Tuesday. Appreciate you guys so much. One guy is saying, do you keep the Woodshed compressor in the gearbox loop? No, I run the Woodshed first. The gearbox loop was just to where if I wanted to try something one day, just signal routing, or if you wanted to put it into a switcher and the Tumnus side could be in its own loop of a switcher. That's why that was done that way. More of a signal routing thing than to have the, you know what I mean. Would love to see you and Andy and Timmons collab. Yeah, man, I'd love to do a collab, an official collab with Andy. I just talked to him today, actually. Good friend of mine, hero. We got some stuff coming for next year. Stay tuned. Gonna be some cool stuff. Everybody have a great day. This is gonna be it. I ain't got nothing to follow that up. A lot of picking, a lot of talking. If you're interested in this bad mamma jamma, y'all know where to go. Is this the point in the show where you go contact your Sweetwater sales engineers, right? Those guys are probably, well, let me tell you, do you think a loving wife is more worried about a man cheating or more worried about a call from the Sweetwater sales engineer? You know what I mean? Like, which one's worse at this point? Yeah, so all your Sir dealers, if you're looking for anniversary models, here's a caveat. Only a few dealers have some left. I think Open and Cord in Knoxville has one red one. I think Sweetwater has a couple of each. And I think Guitar Sanctuary in McKinney, Texas has an orange one. I think they might have an orange and a red or an orange. But they're running out. So there's only 100 of these two. There's 100 orange being made and 100 of the Ferrari red being made. And that's it. That's it. It's going to be it. So 10-year anniversary. Want to do something special. And that's what we did. Make sure Chuck has got us linked right here for the Patreon. If you enjoy the channel and the show, that's how you can help move the ball forward and do bigger and better things. Tour dates, hoodies, hats, all that stuff. Chuck's got it logged right here at andywoodmusic.com. Sweetwater has some whiskey barrels, Dirty is saying. Whiskey barrels are really fun because even when they're identical, they can't be because the way they're torched. Like none of them can look the same. So that's kind of fun too. But yeah, this is the prototype. If you have a Sir Modern Tea, this is where it came from. Right here. This is the OG. This is the prototype. This one was the one that was ground zero for it. And yeah, pretty special guitar right here. The War Machine. That's what I called it. The War Machine. So, love you guys. Thanks for hanging out, man. Everybody have a great week. Be blessed. I'm going to try to clean up the studio. It's looking at me. It's filthy. And it's kind of nice over here except for the dog bed and the dog toys. She has a tendency to like drag things over here. I don't know why she likes this spot so much, but she drags her little bed over here and gets comfy. So, man, thank you guys for hanging out. I got to clean the studio. Like it's time. Clean the studio, please, for the love of God. We'll see y'all next week.